That's right.
Chromebook or something, I swear. What? That's what I'm saying, like, just for this meeting, like.
I'd like to call to order the committee of the whole meeting for October 14th, 2025. The first item on the agenda this evening is roll call.
Lancy?
Here.
Beck?
Here.
Malay?
Here. Here.
Malone? Here. Solfa? Wolf?
Here.
Lehman?
Here.
Barron?
Here.
Lohman?
Here.
Heeper?
Here.
Fehrenbach?
Here.
Anderson? White?
Here.
Baraza?
Here.
The necessary quorum. Then item 2 is reminder to please speak into the microphone if you come up to use the microphone this evening. Next would be the approval of minutes from September 23rd, 2025. Anybody have any comments, questions, corrections? If not, can I get a motion? So moved.
Second.
By Lone, second by
Loman.
Bowman. Record reflect Alderman Solfa is here. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Next would be items to be removed, added, or changed. We do have one addition this evening for an executive session for personnel. Can I get a motion?
Second.
Back. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next up would be matters from the public for anything that's not on the agenda. Don't hear any. Okay, then we'll move right on to the consent agenda. Alderman Barron.
Your Honor, the consent agenda reads as follows. Approvals. Approved COW executive session minutes for September 9th, 2025. Approval of the COW executive session minutes September 23rd, 2025. Resolution 2025-118-R, approving a contract with Electric Conduit Construction to perform 34 kV pole replacement at 400 Shumway Avenue. Resolution 2025-121-R, authorizing execution of a site host agreement with the Batavia Public Library for a Level 3 EV fast charger. Your Honor, I move we approve the consent agenda as read.
Second.
Second by Beck. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Then we'll move right on to the regular agenda. I will open the public hearing for annexation agreement at 02 South 972 Wagner Road. And we are past 7:05, so we're legal.
Thank you. This is one of two annexation agreements. They're actually adjacent properties. First one is 2 South 972 with the Giffords. We had, as part of the involuntary, or I should say surrounded areas that we've annexed, this is the last one on Wagner Road. These are two annexation agreements that we have negotiated with the individual property owners. Essentially, they allow for certain types of I guess we'll call them special exceptions to the code that are allowed to be negotiated as part of an annexation agreement, which includes certain grandfathering of uses that may be conducted on the property, some things that they may be doing that may not comply with city code otherwise, and are giving them the certain allowances under the agreements for those types of things. It also does not require them to connect to city utilities until such time that their systems fail and they're within 200 feet of the respective system, which is pretty standard what we've done with other annexation agreements in the area. It also gives them R0 zoning, which is our base default zoning district. And then if they decide they want to develop the property with additional development, they would come back and amend the agreement so that we could address impact fees and other things like that. And that covers both of the agreements. There are specials, as I put in the staff report, as to the terms that are under each of the agreements. They're similar, but there are some changes based on their individual circumstances.
Anybody have any questions or comments on the one for 970, or 2 South 972 Wagner Road? If not, any public comment? Hearing none, I will close the public hearing. And then we'll move on to item 7.2, and I will open the public hearing for annexation agreement at 03 South 002 Wagner Road.
This is the adjacent property to the south. It's right at the bend of Wagner Road. This is a larger parcel. It actually is 5 acres, so they do have some ability to do agricultural uses under the zoning code right now. They have, I believe, a few animals on there that are in compliance with county regulations, and we would be grandfathering them through the annexation agreement if they are not compliant with the zoning code, which, because of the acreage, they probably are allowable anyway. So this is a similar property, but we did negotiate the agreement with them to address their specific concerns.
Anybody have any comments on this one? I have one. I think this is the first time I've ever seen alpacas or mini cows listed on there.
Too many
So they can
cows,
ha-
alpacas,
right.
not both.
Yeah, I like the way it's worded too.
They said they were going to do one or the other at some point,
Right.
so just both would be too much.
Yeah.
I'll just make a comment. They're in our ward, and I have friends that actually go over to her farm and help with their garden and play with their animals. And they also have a pond there. She sells flowers on the weekend that she grows right on there. And she's actually created her garden in the shape of a leaf. And you can actually see it from the top. And it's absolutely amazing. So thank you for working with them to be able to continue what they're hoping to do with that property. I know that's something that's very important for them.
It's hidden at that end, at the corner there. Really, they can probably do what they want there and not disturb anybody.
I'm also friends with them, and they are not disturbing anybody. They're actually very pleasant, and they just want to kind of keep their stuff right where it's at. And like you just said, you can't even see it anyway. But when you do get back there, it looks spectacular.
Yeah, it's the pictures and videos she does is amazing.
And that's been our goal as part of these agreements, is to try and negotiate so that when they're annexed, it's seamless, where they really won't notice anything. Obviously, they'll pay a little bit more in taxes, their garbage will change, but for the most part, they won't see any substantive changes.
I do think they had concerns at first, but you guys worked real hard, and I think it's a good result.
Okay. Any public comment? Not, I will close the public hearing for the annexation agreement at 03 South 002 Wagner Road. We'll move on to item 7.3, which is ordinance 2025-050 and ordinance 2025-051, approval of annexation agreements for both 0 South 972 and 03 South 002 Wagner Road.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
I think we already discussed
Right.
it just now, so, I mean, we just.
All right, I was going to ask
I guess you
Debbie
could
if
say
she-
there's any further
Yeah, if there
discussion.
was anything you want. Okay. Okay, so a motion by Solfa, second by Beck. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
That'll have to go on the regular agenda,
It has
correct?
to go on the
because of
regular agenda, yes. Mhm.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Then we'll move on to Resolution 2025-120R, authorizing change order number 2 with electric conduit construction for Redant Road BNSF crossing project.
So this is just the continuation of all that work that's been going on in that area. We already approved one change order, and it does seem like it was a large amount, but in all reality, the budgeted amount is still well within what's going on. And it's just one of those things, once they got underneath where it was at, there was a lot more that they found that was not expected. So this is change order number 2 for some additional work because of just the increased size, what was going on. They're going to focus on the north side of the tracks. And then we're going to delay the rest of it until budget year 2027.
Anybody have any questions?
And by the way, even with change order number 2, we are still under budget by over 150 grand.
Okay. Did you have anything to add, Andrea?
No, they're just finishing, they were pulling the cable today and they'll be finishing restoration in the next couple of weeks.
Yep, so I move that we approve Resolution 2025-120R authorizing change order number 2 with electric conduit construction for the Verdant Road BNSF crossing project.
Second.
Okay, motion by second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. We'll move on to item 7.5, which is Resolution 2025-122R, authorizing contract agreement with V3 Construction Group Limited for the South Water Street erosion repair work.
I can take that, Alan.
Okay, go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, it appears to be a maintenance issue that's come up for erosion between the right-of-way on South Water Street and the Park District quarry property. I'm assuming, having not seen the actual site there, there's concern of erosion and could deteriorate and create safety issues. That's about the extent of the issue that I'm aware of. So if there's any discussion.
I can add a little bit to that, Tony. I brought
Please,
an
thanks.
exhibit today because we did get a question about the location. So I passed out a two-sided exhibit that kind of shows the extent of it. I want to say it was, I think the years go by so quickly. I think it was fall of 23 that we kind of noticed some of the slope degrading away, and it was kind of a combination of two awful things all at once. We had a very old brick structure there that was starting to leak a little bit, and it had quite the drop off to get to an outfall in the Park District property. And at the same time, they were also doing maintenance and taking down some trees that were dead at the time that was stabilizing the slope. So eventually the structure kind of gave and the side of the slope went. So we were also working on the wastewater treatment plant at the same time, and we were able to do a change order to get the work completed at this time to extend the storm sewer. So there is no longer any low point where the yellow area is shown on this, and it all goes down to Union and out to the river that way. So it does not cut through their property any longer. If you go out there today, there's still orange snow fence, construction fence around it because it is quite a drop off. I think it's about approximately 35 to 40 feet. So we're protecting everyone that walks by that. And last week, Thursday, Allison met out there with Tim and V3, and they were able to kind of walk through the proposal that is included, and everybody's on board to move forward with this. And V3 was able to accommodate, and they'll be able to start sometime November to get this stabilized and put back into a safer condition. So that is kind of the synopsis of what happened over there.
Okay, thank you very much for the information, Andrea. Any discussion? Any questions?
Question, Tony? This is Chris.
Sure. Go ahead, Chris.
So, in terms of this area, I mean, I like the diagram here so we can see. Is this really the only area we're concerned about, or is there other spots that when you were doing that tour that looked like we're going to have some of these same problems at all?
No, it's everywhere else is heavily vegetated, and I think it was a combination of that pipe kind of leaking a little bit and then the trees that were dying. So when they took those trees down and cleared it, it wasn't holding any longer. So that is the only area, if you go out there, you'll see still plenty of trees that will help stabilize it.
And in case it wasn't clear before, the water is now rerouted away from that area. So we don't expect there to be a further problem with water eroding that area.
I have a question. This is Leah,
Sure.
Tony.
Go ahead, Leah.
Thank you. Do they need to clear cut this area then in the yellow?
I don't think that they're fully clear cutting it. I know they're going to be putting in, I believe some of it was with some pilings to kind of hold it and structurally keep it safe and then building it back.
Okay. So will any large trees be removed?
No, whatever is cleared, I think a majority of it is already done.
And then this is just a general question. Did we not have to go out to bid on this project? We just went with V3. We didn't get any other bids.
Right, it's kind of a design build and just the nature of the work, and to get it done, we did have money in the budget for drainage this year. We were going to do other projects. With the workload and changes, we just weren't able to accomplish that. And this has kind of been a lingering thing that we've looked at, and we've been working with the Park District and had it analyzed on both ends. So we just want to take care of it.
And I believe we have a master services agreement with V3, don't we?
We do, but that's for engineering services and.
Oh, okay.
So Tim put it together real quick, and so he did just put a contractor agreement because this is their construction group and not their engineering
Gotcha.
group.
Just quick follow-up question. Do we have a minimum amount before something's required to be put to bid?
I don't know if it depends on the specialty, and we know that they were in town and able to accommodate us, and we know their work. So just with the nature of this, we wanted to take care of that. And we had we were able to pass numbers too with other people, but this is where we went.
And was V3 part of the group that did the Water Street reconstruction or not?
No, it's with Trotter did the design,
all of
and
it,
then Plainfield Grading was the contractor that did a lot of the work out there on their behalf.
We did Carriage Crest and also the Mahone Creek work out on Kirk Road.
I know they've done a lot of stuff for us over
Yeah, and
the years.
V3 is doing the
Yeah.
ramp as well,
Yeah.
Peace Bridge.
Okay, any other questions? Hearing none, I'll recommend positive recommendation to council for resolution 2025-122R, authorizing a contract agreement with V3 Construction Group Limited for the South Water Street erosion repair work. Get a second?
Second. This is Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
And we'll move on to item 7.6, which is ordinance 2025-055, establishing 2026 wages and salary for the non-collective bargained employees. Hello, Wendy.
Good evening. As is attached in the memorandum, this is the time of year right prior to budget. We bring the wage ordinance for our non-collective bargained employees for you guys to consider, and any recommendations. Obviously, during this process, we look at many of the economic factors and a lot of data analysis, and which has been listed in the memo. Currently, right now, as far as the cost CPIU, currently it stands at 2.9%. I do want to comment, I was really hoping that we would have September's CPIU. Today actually was supposed to come out, but due to the government shutdown, that's been delayed for a few weeks. So, because that would have given us a full 3 quarters of the year to look at. At this point, that's kind of where, for the 12 previous months for the CPIU of August, it stands at 2.9. And CPIU also affects Social Security COLA decisions. So they also will not be making any announcements for Social Security cost of living increases till the end of the month, if not the first of the month. So that wasn't included in the memorandum, which normally I do include that data. Forecasters in general, as you know, looking out into the future from an economic perspective is a little bit of ebbs and flow, never 100% known, but currently right now, many of the forecasters generally expecting the CPIU to range anywhere from 2.5% to 3% for 2026. But obviously, some factors that can definitely influence the upcoming year are things such as the tariff policies, and we have very I wouldn't say unstable, but fluctuating energy and food prices. So as you can imagine, that leaves to some uncertainty into the upcoming year as to where that'll land, but that's kind of where the forecasters are saying. Additionally, first year public sector wage increases stand at 3.8% for this year, heading into 2026, versus private sector employers are a lot higher. I just wanted to point out that's sitting at 6.6. So a little bit lower, but still as far as where they are. And then the last factor that we usually evaluate is the employment cost index, which what that does is that measures state and local government employers. That looks at both their wages as well as their benefits. And for this year, it has increased to 4%. So based on all of those factors and looking additionally as to our current established union negotiated contracts that we already have in place going into 2026, as staff, we would be recommending a 3.5% increase for all non-union employees. I don't know if you have any questions.
Is that in addition to any individual employee, like merit increases?
So the merit increases would be separate. That's just overall, as you see, it adjusts the wage scale, the pay grades, and the pay steps.
We don't do merit increase, but we do step increases.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so if someone's at the top of their pay wage, it'd just be this cost of living that we're talking about today.
Any other comments, questions? I'll make the motion that we recommend to council ordinance 2025-055, establishing the 2026 wage and salaries for the non-collectively bargained employees.
Second.
Motion by Wolf, second by Malone. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
I could just add one quick thing as well, as when I bring that, we also do a wage ordinance for our paid and call as well as our ESDA group. So if you're comfortable with a 3.5, I'll just create those and bring all three of them together with that. It'll have the same process of 3.5%. Thank you.
Right. And we'll move on to council updates. Project status, Laura?
Well, first, I'd just like to commend Wendy and her team. It's not easy to take all of those different data points as well as trying to balance that with our collectively bargained agreements that we have with various groups and try to then come up with what is fair and affordable for our residents as well. So thanks, Wendy. You do a nice job with that. As for updates, the planning staff from Community and Economic Development attended the annual Illinois chapter of American Planning Association conference in Chicago last week and learned a lot of useful information that they're bringing back and applying immediately in the department. And the Plan Commission is going to have their regular meeting tomorrow. And on the agenda is an extension of the South River Street moratorium on zoning changes. And the reason for this is because we want to complete that South River Street corridor plan. We do expect the plan to be available for council to review in the next week or two, very close to being completed. Last week, Andrea attended the Wisconsin Public Utility Institute. Is a week-long program dedicated to municipal utilities and co-op utilities. A lot of great information, part of that program. Previously, both Rahat and I had attended early on in our careers with the city. Also, Brett Wing, our streets crew leader, and Mike Glock, our water and sewer operations manager, recently they were at the Illinois Public Service Institute in Effingham the week of October 6th. It was the last week to complete a 3-year certification program for public works supervisors. So it's a really valuable program that we've sent a number of employees to, and both Brett and Mike speak highly of it, and we'll be sending additional employees in the future. And the Streets Division attended Winter Best Practices virtual workshop. We are getting, tonight, we approved the agreement to get the EV chargers at the library. That is part of a grant that the city received. The first 2 chargers, as you know, have already been installed at Batavia High School and are operational. So that's a great project for our community. The Peace Bridge ramp was poured last week, and then this week we're working on interior wall finishing. As well, parkway trees are being placed and installed within the Winding Creek and Ashton Ridge developments, and then also in all of the other areas of the city where there's the cost share between the resident and the city to install those trees. Also on last Wednesday, October 8th, both the fire department and police department members provided extra patrol and encouragement to students who participated in Batavia Public Schools Walk, Bike, and Roll to School Day. And then finance, I just wanted to let you know about the upcoming dates for discussion and approval of the budget. The tentative date for distribution of the budget will be October 30th, and the first meeting on the budget is set for November 4th. The public hearing on the budget is planned for November 18th, and then the public hearing on the tax levy is planned for Thanksgiving week, November 25th. Our preferred date for passage, we usually pass it at the first city council meeting in December, but the alternate date would then be on December 15th. And that's all I have, unless anybody has any questions for me.
Do you have any questions? Tim or Tony? Okay.
Nope.
Okay. If not, then I'll make a motion that we go into executive session for discussion on personnel. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And we don't expect any action after
No.
the